What if I told you that the battle between the Galaxy S25 Edge and the iPhone Air isn't as simple as declaring one the clear winner? Both of these ultra-slim flagships are designed to push boundaries, both carry their company's most advanced chips, and both are already making headlines for performance. But when the benchmark numbers started rolling in, the story became much more complicated than most people expected. In fact, depending on how you look at the results, you could argue that either one is faster, and that's where things get interesting. Apple introduced the iPhone Air with the A19 Pro chip, the same powerhouse used in its best-performing devices. Early Geekbench results showed single-core scores ranging from 3,206 to over 3,700, while multi-core scores landed between 8,546 and 9,737. That's impressive for any phone. But it's especially striking considering how thin and light the Air is. Apple wanted to prove that a slim design doesn't mean weaker performance, and based on these numbers, they've made a solid case. Now let's look at Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge. Since it launched months ago, thousands of users have already run benchmark tests under all sorts of conditions, so its results vary more widely. On Geekbench, recent scores show single-core performance ranging from 1,579 up to 3,205, while multi-core results spread between 6,564 and 10,102. What does that mean? At its best, the S25 Edge can actually beat the iPhone Air's multi-core scores, but in single-core tests, it often falls short. It's a seesaw battle that depends entirely on which part of the data you choose to highlight, and that's the big problem with benchmarks. If you cherry-pick the highest Galaxy S25 Edge scores, Samsung looks like the winner. If you average out all the iPhone Air results against Samsung's, Apple comes out clearly ahead. The truth is, these numbers rarely reflect what it feels like to use the phone in everyday life. Unless you spend your days running stress tests, you're not going to notice a few hundred points difference in a benchmark score. Both devices are incredibly fast and more than capable of handling demanding apps, games, video editing, or multitasking. But there's one factor that might matter even more than raw numbers: sustained performance. The iPhone Air is ultra-thin, which means Apple had to make design compromises to keep it cool. It may score high in short bursts, but will it maintain that speed during a long gaming session or hours of video rendering? That's still an open question, and it could decide whether Apple's slim design can really compete with Samsung's in real-world conditions. The Galaxy S25 Edge, while not perfect, already has months of user data showing that it can handle heavy loads without falling apart. This tug-of-war also shows how much brand loyalty affects perception. Apple fans will look at the averages and claim victory. Samsung fans will point to the S25 Edge's highest multi-core scores and say it crushed the Air, but the truth is simpler. Both phones are insanely powerful, and neither one will leave you waiting or frustrated in daily use. At this level, it's less about which phone is faster and more about which ecosystem, design, or feature set fits your life better. So here's the bottom line. The iPhone Air has the consistency and single-core strength to edge out the Galaxy S25 Edge in averages. But Samsung's flagship still packs the punch to take the lead in multi-core tasks when conditions are right. In the end, you can pick a side based on the numbers that matter most to you, but in reality, both phones deliver top-tier speed,